In the year 2145, Earth had become a desolate wasteland, ravaged by climate change and war. The remnants of humanity struggled to survive in underground colonies. Among them was Lila, a resourceful mechanic with a knack for fixing old technology. She often tinkered with salvaged parts, dreaming of a day when she could escape the confines of the underground and explore the stars. One day, while rummaging through the ruins of an old spaceport, Lila discovered a hidden door covered in rust and debris. Curiosity sparked within her as she pried it open, revealing a forgotten hangar. Inside stood the Last Starship, a sleek vessel named the Horizon, covered in dust but still intact. Lila's heart raced as she examined the ship. It was a marvel of engineering, equipped with advanced technology long thought lost. With every twist and turn of her tools, she felt a connection to the past and a flicker of hope for the future. But as she worked, an alarm blared throughout the hangar. A group of scavengers, notorious for raiding colonies for resources, had tracked her down. They burst in, led by a grizzled man named Rax, who eyed the horizon with greedy intent. "Step away from that ship, girl." Rax growled, brandishing a weapon. "You have no idea what you're meddling with." Lila's heart raced, but she refused to back down. "I can fix it. This ship can take us off this dying planet." Rax scoffed, but there was a glimmer of interest in his eyes. "You think you can fly? You're just a mechanic." "I may be just a mechanic, but I've spent my life learning how things work. Let me prove it," she challenged, her voice steady. After a tense moment, Rax considered her words. "Fine. You fix the ship, and if you can make it fly, we'll talk. But if you fail, you're coming with us." With a reluctant nod, Lila agreed. As the scavengers began to loiter, she focused on her work, piecing together the ship's systems and uncovering hidden features. The hours flew by, and Lila found herself lost in the task, driven by the desire for freedom. Just as she finished the final adjustments, a rumble shook the hangar. Outside, a dust storm was brewing, and the scavengers were growing restless. "Time's up, mechanic." Rax barked, but Lila ignored him, her hands flying over the controls. With a final push, she activated the ship. The horizon roared to life, lights blinking to life and engines humming. The scavengers stared in disbelief as the ship began to lift off the ground. "Get in," Lila shouted, her heart pounding with adrenaline. As the scavengers scrambled aboard, she took her place in the cockpit, the controls feeling like an extension of herself. With one last glance at the crumbling Earth, Lila piloted the Horizon into the sky, breaking through the storm clouds. For the first time, she felt the thrill of true freedom. But as they ascended, she knew the real adventure was just beginning, one filled with unknown galaxies, ancient secrets, and the fight for humanity's survival among the stars. The roar of the engines filled the cockpit as the horizon surged into the atmosphere, breaking free from the confines of Earth. Lila's heart raced with exhilaration. The control panel flickering with lights and systems coming online. The scavengers huddled in the rear, their faces a mixture of awe and wariness. "Where are we headed?" Rax asked, his voice gruff, but tinged with curiosity. "Anywhere but here," Lila replied, her fingers deftly navigating the controls. "I need to stabilize the flight first. After that, we'll find a place to regroup and plan our next move." As they soared higher, the view through the cockpit window transformed from the scarred surface of Earth to the vast expanse of space. Stars twinkled like diamonds scattered across black velvet, and Lila felt a sense of wonder wash over her. This was the adventure she had always dreamed of. "Do you even know how to fly this thing?" One of the scavengers, a young woman named Jessa, questioned, eyeing Lila skeptically. "I can learn," Lila replied, focusing on the instruments. "I've studied every manual I could find. Trust me, I'll get us through this." Just then, the ship shook violently, alarms blaring as a warning light flashed red. Lila's heart sank. "What's happening?" Rax demanded, gripping the edge of his seat. "Something's wrong with the stabilizers," she shouted, fighting to regain control. The ship pitched and rolled, and Lila had to think fast. She recalibrated the thrusters, wrestling with the controls as she fought to stabilize their flight. "Hold on," she yelled, pushing the ship into a controlled dive to regain balance. The scavengers yelled in panic, but Lila's focus remained razor-sharp. With one final adjustment, the ship leveled out, and the alarms ceased their wailing. "I did it." Lila breathed, adrenaline surging through her veins. "We're stable." Rax shot her an impressed look. "Not bad for a mechanic," he muttered, settling back into his seat. "Now what?" "Now we need to find a safe place to land," Lila said, scanning the starry expanse. "I've heard rumors of a space station called Haven, a refuge for those seeking a new life. It's located in a neutral zone, away from scavengers and hostile factions." "Let's hope it's still standing," Jessa replied, her voice steadying as the panic subsided. As they charted a course for Haven, Lila felt a sense of purpose taking hold. They would face challenges ahead, but together, they had a chance at something greater than mere survival. Hours passed, and the shimmering outline of Haven finally emerged on the horizon, a colossal space station adorned with gardens and solar panels, a beacon of hope in the darkness. As they approached, Lila felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Prepare for landing," she announced, guiding the ship toward a docking bay. The station's architecture was a marvel, a blend of nature and technology that spoke of resilience and innovation. As they touched down, the hatch opened, revealing a bustling scene filled with people from all walks of life, engineers, traders, and families seeking refuge from the chaos of the universe. But as Lila stepped out, she sensed an underlying tension in the air. Whispers of conflict lingered, and she knew that safety here was not guaranteed. "Welcome to Haven." A tall woman with a commanding presence approached them, her eyes sharp and assessing. "I am Captain Mara, the station's leader. What brings you to our sanctuary?" Lila stepped forward, determination in her voice. "We're looking for a fresh start, a place to rebuild. We have skills to offer, but we need your help to get settled." Mara studied them carefully, then nodded. "We'll discuss terms, but understand this. Haven is a sanctuary, but it's not without its challenges. You must prove yourselves worthy of our trust." As they followed Mara deeper into the station, Lila felt the weight of her choice settle on her shoulders. They had escaped Earth, but now they faced a new challenge: navigating the complexities of a community on the brink of conflict. Yet within her, the spark of adventure burned bright, igniting a sense of hope for the journey ahead. As Lila and the scavengers followed Captain Mara through the bustling corridors of Haven, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were entering a world fraught with tension. The station was alive with activity: children playing, traders negotiating deals, and engineers bustling around, but there was an underlying current of unease. "Stay close," Mara instructed, leading them to a communal area filled with tables and makeshift seating. "We need to discuss your situation and the challenges we face here." Lila and the scavengers took their seats, observing the diverse group around them. People of various backgrounds shared stories and laughter, but Lila noticed some conversations hushed when Mara approached. It was clear that the captain was respected, but also feared. Mara began outlining the station's situation. "Haven is a sanctuary, but it's under threat. A group called the Iron Fist has been making aggressive moves to seize control of the surrounding territories. They believe they have the right to claim what they want, regardless of the consequences." Rax leaned forward, intrigue sparking in his eyes. "And what do you need from us?" "We need skilled individuals to bolster our defenses," Mara replied. "If the Iron Fist attacks, we must be prepared to fight back. Your mechanical skills, Lila, could be invaluable. We need to upgrade our systems and fortify our defenses." Lila's heart raced at the challenge. "I can help with that. I've worked on a variety of tech, vehicles, drones, you name it. If we can gather the right materials, I can create a defensive mechanism." Mara nodded, her expression approving. "We'll provide you with access to our resources, but you'll need to earn the trust of the community. Prove your skills, and you'll have a place among us." As discussions continued, Lila felt a sense of camaraderie forming between her and the scavengers. They had come together in a moment of crisis, and now they faced a shared purpose. But beneath her excitement lay a flicker of fear. The reality of conflict loomed closer. Later that evening, Lila gathered with the scavengers in their quarters, a small but cozy room filled with makeshift beds and remnants of their journey. "We need to start planning," she said, pulling out a worn notebook filled with sketches and ideas. "If we're going to build defenses, we need to identify what resources we have and what we'll need." Rax leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "You really think we can take on the Iron Fist? They're ruthless." "I believe we can if we work together," Lila replied, her determination unwavering. "We've already overcome so much just to get here. We can use our skills to make a difference." Jessa nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Lila's right. We may be scavengers, but we're survivors. We know how to improvise and adapt." Just then, a loud commotion erupted outside their quarters. Curious, they peeked out to see a crowd gathered, shouting and gesturing. Lila felt her heart drop as she recognized the familiar emblem of the Iron Fist, a menacing black fist emblazoned on the uniforms of armed individuals pushing through the crowd. "Out of the way." One of them barked, forcing their way toward Mara's quarters. "We're here to discuss terms." Fear surged through Lila as she exchanged worried glances with the scavengers. "We need to warn Mara," she said urgently. They hurried through the crowd, weaving between startled faces. When they reached Mara, the captain stood with her back straight, her expression unreadable. "We don't want any trouble," she stated firmly, addressing the Iron Fist members. "Trouble is exactly what you'll get if you don't comply," the leader sneered, a tall figure with a scar running down his cheek. "You're on our territory now. Hand over your resources, or we'll take them by force." Lila's heart raced. This was the moment they had been preparing for, but could they truly stand against such a powerful enemy? As the tension in the air thickened, Lila felt a sense of urgency rise within her. "Wait!" she shouted, stepping forward despite her fear. "We can help you. We can offer technology and skills that could benefit everyone. Just give us a chance." The Iron Fist leader narrowed his eyes, sizing her up. "And why should I trust a group of scavengers? You're in no position to negotiate." But as Lila stood there, the resolve in her heart grew stronger. She might not have the power of an army, but she had the knowledge to create something that could turn the tide. The spark of adventure ignited within her once more, and she knew this was just the beginning of their fight. The air crackled with tension as Lila faced the Iron Fist leader, the weight of the moment pressing heavily on her shoulders. Around her, the scavengers and the residents of Haven stood silent, watching with bated breath. "You think you can just waltz in here and make demands?" The leader scoffed, his eyes narrowing. "You're nothing but a bunch of thieves." Rax stepped forward, his expression fierce. "We may be scavengers, but we're not without skills. If you give us a chance, we can prove our worth." "Enough." Mara's voice sliced through the air, authoritative and unyielding. "This isn't the way to conduct business. We're not looking for a fight, but we won't be intimidated either. Haven is a place of refuge, and we will defend it." The Iron Fist leader's expression shifted, amusement flickering across his face. "You really think you can defend this place? You're outnumbered and outmatched. My men have more firepower than you can imagine." Lila's mind raced, seeking a way to turn the situation in their favor. "We can help you," she called out again, her voice steady. "We know technology that could improve your operations, your defenses. Why waste resources on a siege, when we can offer you something valuable?" The leader hesitated, clearly weighing her words. "And what exactly can you offer?" "We can create advanced security systems and enhance your vehicles. Together, we could establish a mutual alliance that benefits both sides," Lila proposed, her heart pounding with hope. Mara nodded, sensing the shift. "If you allow us to demonstrate our capabilities, perhaps we can find a solution that works for everyone." The Iron Fist leader smirked, crossing his arms. "I'll consider it, but if you fail to impress me, there will be consequences." As the Iron Fist members retreated, leaving a hushed crowd behind, Lila felt a mix of relief and apprehension. They had bought themselves some time, but the pressure was on to deliver. "Let's get to work," Lila said, gathering the scavengers and Mara. "We need to create something that will showcase our skills and demonstrate that we can be valuable allies." Over the next few days, the group worked tirelessly, pooling their knowledge and resources. Lila led the effort, drawing on her expertise to design a prototype security system that integrated the old technology of Haven with innovative solutions. As they labored, Jessa and Rax scouted the station for salvageable materials, while Mara coordinated with other residents to rally support. Slowly, a sense of unity began to form within Haven, with people sharing their skills and ideas. One evening, as they gathered around a makeshift table littered with blueprints and tools, Rax looked at Lila. "What if they don't accept us? What if this all ends in disaster?" Lila took a deep breath, her resolve hardening. "We can't let fear dictate our choices. We've come too far to turn back now. We're stronger together, and if we believe in what we're building, they might just see our worth." As the days turned into a week, the prototype finally took shape. It was a sophisticated network of sensors, and alarms designed to detect intruders and alert the residents. They integrated it with the station's existing systems, giving it a sleek, efficient interface. On the day of the demonstration, a nervous energy filled the air. The community gathered in the central square, where Lila stood beside the prototype, flanked by the scavengers and Mara. The Iron Fist members arrived, skepticism etched on their faces, but curiosity flickering in their eyes. Lila took a deep breath, stepping forward to address the crowd. Today, we're not just demonstrating technology, we're showcasing what can happen when we work together. This system can enhance your security and protect Haven from threats, including the Iron Fist. With a nod from Mara, Lila activated the prototype. Lights flickered, and a holographic display sprang to life, showcasing the system's capabilities. The audience watched in awe as Lila navigated through the features, demonstrating how it could detect movement and alert the station's defenders. The Iron Fist leader watched closely, his expression shifting from skepticism to intrigue. "Impressive," he said grudgingly. "But can it withstand a real threat?" Lila's heart raced, but she was ready. "Let's put it to the test. We can simulate an attack, and you can see how the system responds." With a wave from Mara, the scavengers initiated the simulation, projecting a holographic scenario where invaders attempted to breach the station. Alarms blared, and the security system activated, demonstrating its effectiveness as it pinpointed the intruders and deployed virtual defenses. The crowd erupted in applause, the residents of Haven feeling a surge of hope. Even the Iron Fist leader seemed impressed, crossing his arms, but nodding in acknowledgement. "All right, you've made your point," he said, his tone less confrontational. "Perhaps there's value in working together after all. But understand this: any betrayal will be met with swift retribution." Lila exhaled, a mix of relief and exhilaration washing over her. They had forged an alliance, but the road ahead was still fraught with uncertainty. As the crowd celebrated, Lila looked at her newfound friends, the scavengers, Mara, and the residents of Haven. Together, they had sparked a change, but in the depths of her mind, she knew that the Iron Fist would not back down easily. The real test was yet to come, with the alliance forged and the prototype security system operational. A new sense of hope surged through Haven. But Lila knew that the Iron Fist wouldn't simply accept defeat. They were still a threat, and their leader, with his pride on the line, would likely retaliate. As the days passed, Lila and the scavengers worked tirelessly to fortify Haven's defenses, integrating their new technology with existing systems. Mara coordinated patrols and drills, rallying the community to prepare for any potential attack. Lila felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders, knowing that the safety of everyone depended on their collective effort. Then, one fateful evening, a deep rumble echoed through the station. The lights flickered, and an emergency alert blared. Incoming attack. A voice shouted over the intercom. Panic erupted in the streets as residents scrambled for shelter. Rax, Jessa, we need to activate the security system. Lila shouted, her heart pounding. They rushed to the control center, where the prototype hummed with energy. The Iron Fist had arrived. As they activated the defenses, Lila could see the Iron Fist's ships descending from the sky, their silhouettes menacing against the dimming light. Mara rallied the defenders, giving them a fierce speech about fighting for their home and their future. Lila felt a surge of determination rise within her as the community united, ready to stand together against the impending threat. Get to your stations, Mara commanded. We hold the line here. Lila monitored the security feeds, watching as the Iron Fist began their assault. The system detected movement, and alerts rang out as intruders breached the outer perimeter. With every ounce of courage, she guided the defenders through the interface, coordinating their efforts. Lila, we need to deploy the drones. Rax shouted, his eyes scanning the screens. On it. Lila replied, her fingers flying across the controls. She activated the drones, which surged into the air, providing aerial surveillance and support. Keep an eye on the flanks. We need to anticipate their movements. The sounds of conflict filled the air, shouts, blasts of energy weapons, and the thud of boots on metal. The Iron Fist was relentless, pushing forward with a well-coordinated attack. Lila felt the adrenaline coursing through her veins, her determination hardening. Suddenly, the feeds flickered, showing a breach in the southern sector. They're getting through, Lila exclaimed. We need to reinforce that area. Jessa grabbed Lila's arm, urgency in her eyes. We can't hold them off forever. We need to find their command ship and cut off their communication. Lila nodded, her mind racing. If we can disable their leader, we might break their resolve. Let's do it. Rax added, rallying behind them. Lead the way, Lila. The three of them raced toward the docking bay, where the Iron Fist's ship loomed ominously. As they moved through the chaos, Lila's heart pounded with fear and resolve. This was their chance to end the threat once and for all. They reached the docking bay, adrenaline surging as they found a small, agile craft. This should get us to their ship quickly, Lila said, quickly running through the pre-flight checks. Go, go, Jessa urged, glancing back at the ongoing battle. We'll cover you from here. With a final nod, Lila piloted the craft into the sky, steering toward the enemy vessel. The Iron Fist's defenses were heavy, but Lila maneuvered skillfully, weaving through fire and debris. As they neared the command ship, She spotted an entry point and made her approach. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with tension. They quickly navigated the dark corridors, Lila leading the way based on her knowledge of ship layouts she'd studied in manuals. Their footsteps echoed ominously, but she felt a sense of purpose guiding her. Finally, they reached the control room, where the Iron Fist leader stood with several of his men. He turned, surprise flickering in his eyes. "You think you can take me down, little girl?" he sneered, brandishing a weapon. Lila's heart raced, but she stood tall. "This ends now. You don't have to continue this fight. We can work together for a better future." "Foolish child," he roared, raising his weapon. But just then, Rax and Jessa burst in, ready to back her up. "You'll pay for your interference." A fierce standoff ensued, the air crackling with tension. Lila's mind raced for a solution. "We're not your enemies," she shouted. "You can have power, but it doesn't have to come from fear and oppression." In that moment, something shifted in the leader's expression. He hesitated, lowering his weapon slightly. "You're all so naive. The galaxy isn't a place for mercy." "But it can be," Lila countered, her voice steady. "Join us, and you can help create something new, something better." As the standoff continued, the realization hit her. They were all fighting for survival, but it didn't have to mean bloodshed. "We can create a coalition, protect each other, and build a future together." The leader's eyes narrowed, but the weight of Lila's words hung in the air. After a long moment, he lowered his weapon completely, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his face. "Maybe there's something to your words." Rax and Jessa exchanged surprised glances, tension dissipating slightly. "You really think we can trust him?" Rax whispered. "It's a risk we have to take," Lila replied, her heart pounding. "We have to believe in change." The leader looked at Lila, then at his men. "Very well. But if you betray us, you will regret it." He turned, extending a hand toward her. "Let's see if we can find common ground." With that, a fragile alliance was born. They emerged from the command ship, returning to Haven as a united front. The residents watched in shock as the Iron Fist leader stepped down beside Mara, an unexpected partnership forming. Over the following weeks, Haven transformed. The Iron Fist and the residents began to work together, pooling their resources to build a community based on trust and collaboration. Lila felt a profound sense of accomplishment as she watched the growth around her. In the end, it wasn't just about survival. It was about forging a new path, the place where hope could flourish amid the stars. And as Lila stood with her friends, looking out at the vast universe ahead, she knew this was only the beginning of their adventure. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. You are awesome.